Good afternoon, I'm Charles Lejano. This is One News Now. The Health Department is urging private hospitals to increase their bed capacity for COVID-19 patients for the holidays. Secretary Francisco Duque III also shared what's on top of his Christmas wish list. JC Cosico tells us more.
The Health Department wants private hospitals to increase their bed allocations for COVID-19 patients in preparation for the so-called post-holiday surge. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III says at least 20% of their bed capacity should be dedicated to those being treated for the disease.
Instead of building more hospital beds, more hospital buildings, which will require huge capital expenditures, then let's get the private sector hospitals that underutilized naman.
The official adds that the eased quarantine restrictions over Metro Manila could contribute to the feared spike in cases.
We have greater mobility, therefore a higher contact rate, therefore a higher transmission rate, therefore possibly more admissions.
Some 6% of the current 400,000 confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country are considered active.
If this can stay low, the rest of the holiday season, that will be the greatest Christmas gift that I, as your Secretary of Health, can ever hope to have.
Duque notes that the strict implementation of health protocols across the country has also resulted in fewer cases of leptospirosis, measles, and other diseases.
Natalo natin yung ibang mga sakit. Na sa ganitong panahon, mataas itong mga kaso ito. Can you imagine if dengue spike with COVID or with measles? So that is great.
For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
Allergic reactions to Pfizer's COVID-19 shot were reported following its first rollout in Britain. But health experts, including those here in the Philippines, say that these side effects are normal. Greg Gregorio with the report.
Susana's hopes that we could finally go back to normal faded when she heard reports of adverse vaccine reactions. British officials have advised those with anaphylaxis or overreaction of immune system not to take the shot developed by Pfizer.
At least na nga kami nung may COVID-19 dahil ang dahil ng mga allergens na hinipon-hipon. Tapos lalo na ngayon na may vaccine na ganun pa rin pala.
But health authorities in the Philippines explain that such reactions of the body to vaccines are normal. Eric Domingo, Food and Drug Administration Director General, says they may experience inflammation and difficulty of breathing.
Pero madali din naman itong i-reverse. May mga gamot na binibigay para ma-reverse agad yung allergic reaction.
Other health experts have seconded this, including Jaime Montoya of the Science and Technology Department. Dr. Edsel Salvana, a member of the DOH Technical Advisory Group, also notes that COVID vaccines are no different. Domingo points out that they are closely monitoring the reactions of patients to vaccines of Pfizer and other manufacturers. According to the official, they will require the firms to submit reports should they apply for emergency use or a certificate of product registration of their vaccines in the Philippines.
Magagamit natin ito as batayan sa approval or disapproval, or if we approve, para makapag-set tayo din ng conditions or warnings.
The FDA is also looking into bribing allegations reported by other countries against Chinese company Sinovac. Domingo notes that they will scrutinize the authenticity of each document that a company will submit to the agency.
As far as FDA is concerned, we do our due diligence to make sure that everything that is submitted to us follows what we require.
As for the latest on vaccines in the country, the DOH is now identifying possible sites for cold chain hubs in the Philippines. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeres says they are considering Metro Manila, Bicol, Cebu, and Zamboanga.
Tinitignan pa lang natin yung location para makita natin if it's strategic enough at makakabawas at magiging efficient ang ating gobyerno sa pagdidistribute.
The agency will also meet with World Health Organization officials on Saturday about the vaccine for Solidarity trial. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
Pfizer and its partner BioNTech say they support the investigation of British health officials into their vaccine bid. The US-based company explains that in fact they excluded those with a history of allergic reactions from their late-stage trials. Britain's medicine regulator maintains that no corners were cut when it approved the shot for emergency use. The vaccine was rolled out in Britain last week, making it the first Western country to start vaccinating its general population. Meanwhile, a Filipino health worker in the United Kingdom was among the first recipients of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. Pinay nurse Leo Quijano contracted COVID-19 back in June, and she said she was relieved upon receiving the vaccine earlier this week.
Huwag nating isipin na because we had a vaccine, safe na tayo. Hindi pa rin. We still need to be very careful.
We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Bulacan mayors are appealing to the government to allow cash lanes and NLEX toll booths to improve traffic in the area. Despite this, they assured the toll operator that they will not suspend their business permit. Gerard de la Peña has the story.
The provincial government of Bulacan is not keen on suspending the business permit of the North Luzon Expressway, despite the congestion in toll plazas within its jurisdiction. Bulacan mayors have spoken to NLEX officials days after the Valenzuela LGU halted the operator's business permit. They say they are satisfied with the measures presented by NLEX to improve the situation. Among these are deploying additional personnel to ensure readability of RFID stickers and improving traffic flow.
Ang ayokong mangyari dito, yung ginawa ni Mayor Rex Gatchalian. But then again, kung talagang hindi mabibigyan ito ng solusyon, wala kami magagawa but to cancel also your permit to operate.
Among the recommendations to NLEX is to provide toll fee discounts to incentivize the use of RFID. They are also urging the operator to retain some cash lanes during the transition, to which NLEX is open to.
Kung mamarapatin po ng ating PRB at saka ng DOTR, susunod naman po tayo doon sa kanilang mungkahi.
For its part, the Toll Regulatory Board says operators may temporarily resort to cash payments in order to decongest expressways. In an interview with One News Agenda, House Transportation Committee Chair Edgar Sarmiento says the TRB should take full responsibility for the recent RFID mess.
Don't hesitate, even though there's a secretary who is mandating you, you have to come up with the good reasoning na hindi pa po talaga kaya.
As for the Valenzuela LGU, the dialogue with NLEX will push through on Monday. The operator is expected to discuss its clear and concrete solutions to the local government, which they hope could lead to the lifting of their business permit suspension. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
One lawmaker wants schools to lessen the use of printed modules over safety concerns. Education Committee Chair Roman Romulo says the DepEd should know by now the best learning modality under the new normal. The Pasig congressman notes that the delivery of modules poses a higher risk of virus transmission. With this, Romulo is urging schools to maximize other distance learning tools such as radio and television.
Inevitable na talaga na papunta tayong technology. Now that we are in this situation, we might as well make the most of it.
Various groups are calling out the police for another batch of arrests allegedly based on planted evidence. But authorities maintain that that their operations are backed by court warrants. Pat Mangune has the report.
The 7 activists and union organizers who were arrested on Thursday have undergone inquest proceedings. They were captured in separate raids conducted by the PNP CIDG in Quezon City, Manila, and Mandaluyong. They are Mark Ryan Cruz, Romina Racel Astudillo, Jamie Gregorio, Dennis Velasco, Joel Demate, and Rodrigo Esparago. Also nabbed was Lady Ann Salem, also known as IC, who worked as an editor for an alternative media outlet. According to the CIDG, they were able to seize a number of firearms, explosives, subversive documents, and other items. With this, the PNP unit alleges that the suspects are all members of a gun-running syndicate in the country. The CIDG says charges of illegal possession of firearms and ammunition will be filed against the suspects. But according to Salem's family and legal counsel, the journalist is just another victim of red tagging.
Dahil nabalitaan ko po na ang Manila Today, kung saan editor ang ate ko, nasama sila sa red tag po na dun sa balitang nabasa ko po.
Almost the same thing happened. Dadating ang pulis, padadapain ka, pahigain, ilalabas ka ng kwarto. Magkakaroon ng period of time na pwedeng magplanta ng ebidensya.
But police authorities have denied the allegations. The National Union of Journalists has also expressed outrage over Salem's arrest, demanding her immediate release. The organization says it is a proof that the Duterte administration is bent on silencing critics from the media. Progressive groups also condemned the arrests, which ironically coincided with the observance of International Human Rights Day.
Walang kahihiyan itong estadong ito, itong gobyerno ni President Duterte. Wala siyang moral at legal na batayan upang arestuhin sila.
Human Rights Watch Asia says democratic spaces in the country are shrinking as a number of perpetrators are still not held accountable. But in an interview with One News The Chiefs, HRW researcher Carlos Conde notes that the government's response has improved.
Well, generally, I would say there's a worsening of the situation. But also, to be fair, the government has engaged with the international community. That in a way that is good news because they're engaging.
For News 5, Patricia Mangune, we are One News.
For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.